Hi friends. So I thought to put this video today to summarize whatever I have discussed in my previous two videos. I hope you are learning from my videos and it is getting helpful for you, whosoever is listening to my videos. Please let me know if you want me to add something else going forward. So let's get started with today's video. So today we'll discuss, as I said, I want to summarize whatever we discussed in past two videos, which will be the introduction to the technical architect examination and the overall infrastructure environment. So let's get started. So the audience of this technical architect exam would be all those technical architects working on the Blue Prism related projects and all the IT support teams and anyone who wants to learn Blue Prism. So for the technical architect, it is obviously required to know all the details for each and every component. For the support team, it is required to support the application from the business perspective to provide the business continuity. And anyone who wants to learn Blue Prism, it is also required because in a way that person will understand all the components in a better way and will be able to decide or work on that component accordingly. So the objective of the exam of this ATA02 certification is to understand various architectural components, to provide or to understand the design considerations and other detailed specification like I mentioned in this slide, like the specification related to the maintenance and requirement for the support team and the capacity on the server and specification on the host level configuration, like the server should be a virtualized server or it's a physical server and all those things. And obviously these will be decided with with the help of best practice, industry best practice and vendor provided documentation. So this is pretty much the objective of the ATA02 exam. So the next is I hope you watched my last video where I discussed the architecture overview of the Blue Prism. So I created this slide to add the new information and the diagram I have created from my previous video. So for any technical architect who want to design Blue Prism, the bullet point which is listed on the screen, those are very important, and I should say those are main aspect of a Blue Prism implementation. So as I mentioned in my previous video, the interactive client runtime resource and the application server, those three components are the components which can be virtualized. As I mentioned in the video, the color coding is self-explanatory. The brown are in the virtualized component, and the red one, that is the database server, that should be a physical configuration. So this is the vendor recommended approach, and this is the one of the main area on the certification, which I mentioned the first bullet point, which is virtualization. So as we go forward with the other videos, I will explain each and every bullet point in detail, like what is virtualization, why we need virtualization, what sort of virtualization we can implement, and different advantages and disadvantages of using virtualization. So that's the first point, and it's a very important point in technical architect exam, as well as for all the technical architects also in real life who want or who are already working on the Blue Prism implementation. So the next is infrastructure, like the overall infrastructure with the best practice, industry best practice and optimal solution. So that will be covered in this infrastructure topic that I will cover. Then the provisioning and the maintaining database server. So provisioning a database server is the industry best practice, vendor recommended solution, and how to maintain it in a better way. Because as I mentioned in my last video, the database is the core critical component of a Blue Prism implementation. So if any performance related issues there will at the database layer, it will impact the complete Blue Prism performance. So maintaining a database is also very important. Then there are other additional components of a Blue Prism implementation which are really important. These are Windows authentication, remote access, then obviously load balancing. So these are pretty much, I should say, these three are the high level common components, not specifically to the Blue Prism but overall for any uh, design of the any application. So Windows authentication, how a user can access or how a robot can access the machines, that will be covered by Windows authentication. Credential managers are where or how Blue Prism store the credentials in a secure manner. Then load balancing, obviously how the traffic will be handled at the app layer from different robots, and how it is getting communication established between the database servers. So that will be covered in load balancing. Then secure communication over network, as I touched a bit in my last video. All the components, if you see on the left side of the screen in the diagram, all the components of a Blue Prism implementation communicate over the network, like interactive client communicate with the runtime resources over a network. Similarly, application servers communicate to all the other components over the network. So the whole communications should be secure. That is the one of the most important aspect for a technical architect to consider while designing the Blue Prism implementation. So we'll cover this point in the secure communication over the network chapter that we'll cover in the new video, in the next video. And the final part of the component is the login agent, like how a robot can log in to a machine, to a runtime resource. So login agent is something, I should say, purely specific for a Blue Prism implementation. It is inbuilt compatibility, or inbuilt functionality between the Blue Prism. So that we will be cover. And I should say that I should start with login agent, and I'll cover it in my immediate next video that I'll be putting it in next week. So just to go over it once again, um, the infrastructure diagram is covering all the details already in my last video. The main component which we will learn throughout the course, throughout these videos, are the bullet points that I have listed on the right side. That are virtualization, infrastructure details, then database server, provisioning and the maintenance of the database server, then login agent, load balancing, remote access, then this communication over the network, how we can make that communication secure, and Windows authentication. So that is pretty much it for today. I wanted to just summarize it for everyone what we have covered in my last two videos, so that we can get started from my next video onwards. As I said, I will be starting with the login agent in detail. And homework for all friends who are listening this video are, if you guys already are working on any technical or any Blue Prism implementation, and if you have any questions, and if you want to discuss anything related to your current work, just contact me. Feel free to contact me. I have already shared my details. I'll share it as well in today's video. And for the developers, I have been contacted by many folks for the developer exam, that is AD01. So just wanted to put it here that I have a working knowledge. I have a hands-on experience on developing Blue Prism processes as well. So if you have any question related to the developer certification as well, just let me know as well. I will be more than happy to help you. And from this video onwards, I have started another thing, that is question of the day. So how I will be doing is, I will be putting a question in each and every video, and I will be answering that in my next videos. Next video for that particular question. And so today's question is, let me know how many ways we can monitor a process within a Blue Prism application. So just a hint, where there are multiple ways inbuilt within the application by which we can monitor a process. So just let me know if you want to, if you know the answer, just put it into the comment section of the video, and I will be answering this question anyway in my next video. So what next? As I mentioned earlier, I will be discussing login agent, why we need a login agent, and advantages and disadvantages if there will be any in the login agent implementation, and we'll be covering it next in my next video. So as I mentioned in all my videos, this is my LinkedIn profile, and anyone who want to contact me, they can contact me on my LinkedIn profile. I will put it into the description of the video as well, just so it will be easy for everyone, and I would be happy to answer any question that you guys will have related to any of the component of Blue Prism. So feel free to contact me. Thank you.